Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships. Today we're taking a look at the Black Friday 2024 event. I'm going to be updating you with a tier list of ships that I think you should get or not. But first we have some housekeeping to look after here. There's a bit of a problem with this updated Black Friday event. It comes down to the rare ships here. They're available. It's great. John Bart, Massachusetts, Alaska, and Asashio. You can get them. Unfortunately, there's a separate tab for doubloons. And notice what's conveniently missing. This is the issue. A lot of you, I'm sure, have saved your doubloons for Black Friday. I am constantly pushing for Black Friday to be the time you spend money on this game. Or the New Year's premium 50% off. You get a full year of premium for 50% off, which is a good deal as well. But Black Friday, if you want ships, especially because there's some rare ships available. Throughout the year, you earn doubloons through events just by playing the game. Some of you may have even used your birthday coupons to get extra doubloons back, which I'm not the biggest fan of, buying a ton on the shop in the hopes that something in the future you'd like to get. I'm not big on pushing that necessarily, but it is an option and an understandable one to get some extra value, especially considering in previous years we've had all of these ships available for doubloons. And it feels kind of bad when the only ships that are rare and probably the ones you're looking for are the ones that are missing. I think it wouldn't be quite as bad. It still would be bad. Let's be very clear. It'd be pretty bad, but it wouldn't be quite as bad if it were more than just the rare ships not available. But it feels very targeted, doesn't it? So with that out of the way, I have messaged Wargaming through CC channels that I have available to me. Other CCs have as well. They've heard it. They've got the message. We'll see if they listen, but they have received the feedback that this is a bad thing and we would very much like this changed. And before we get into the full tier list here, it is important to mention that there is a chain of bundles here if you're looking for the Munchen, as well as San Diego, Huron, and Dupleix available. Now, with this mission chain for just over 10,000 doubloons, there's some containers here. It's not the best value, in my opinion. Unless you really, really want this ship, I would probably be in favor of skipping this. You get, I believe, 3 premium Black Friday containers, as well as a monochrome destruction event effect here, which is something new. But to me, it's really not all that valuable. San Diego, Huron, and Dupleix here, no discounts. But it's important to note that there is a way to get a discount. Now over here in the Captain's Choice tab, you can have some discounts, and these will not discount other Black Friday ships. That's really important. It is only for San Diego, Huron, and Dupleix, okay? And they're for Black Friday tokens. I don't like how these tokens obfuscating the actual cost of things. And when it comes to getting these tokens, it seems like you have to buy certain Black Friday containers during a limited time this update. So the more you buy, the more you save. Again, not a huge fan of that, to be honest with you. Just give us the discount straight up. Stop obfuscating all of the costs on these things. There's some not so great parts to this event, but there are some good things as well, allowing you to get some rare ships for real money, not for doubloons. I still am glad they're available for real purchase and they don't just fully take them away. But just something to be aware of with these coupons here. You got to buy a lot to get the discount on these premium ships here at the start. That's why there's no discount, and be very aware that when you go into this Black Friday event, don't get these coupons thinking that it's going to work on the rest of the Black Friday fleet. It will not. And now on to this tier list. And actually, I'm going to invite fellow content creator MalteseKnight on, and we're going to discuss these ships, place them in a tier list. Obviously, this is just our opinions. We're going to have a good time, and hopefully you get something out of this. But really, this is very subjective. This isn't going to be an objective tier list. Links will be in the description down below for Malta's channels. Definitely go give him a follow. Excellent content creator for this game. Okay,
so
that's the context.
Is the tier list gonna be based on like price or just the ship characteristics?
I don't know. What do you want to do? It's kind of up to us, right? We can either do it as purely gameplay focused, how good they are at their tier, or we could do it value. Or
what about CV?
we could just mess
Getting
around.
its own-
Yeah. Yeah, I
CV
don't
getting its
really
own
want to
tier.
rate CVs because I just don't play them. I don't know about them. Put them in the junk tier at the bottom.
Yeah, sure. I think we should do it based on how good the ship is at the particular tier, maybe, because obviously all the tier 10s are going to be above the rest, so maybe we just do it at that tier,
How playable
What do you
are they
think?
at their tier? I guess we should probably mention the prices. 15% discount for tier 10 and tier 9, 30% on tier 8 and below. Oh, and then of course there's the certain ships are also available for resources. So then do you buy the ship or do you just save your in-game resources for it, right? For me,
exactly. That's kind of smart.
For me, a lot of those are just going to be, you should probably save resources for them. I guess we'll mention them as we get to them. Okay, Alabama. Let's start it. Where do you think?
This one's a new one, actually, right?
Yeah.
It's a B ships. I mean, it's not a bad ship overall, but I don't think it's like anything too special, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's, for those who don't know, it's a premium North Carolina, basically. Slightly worse Sigma accuracy, but you're tankier. You got a much better torque belt and better maneuverability as well.
Bro, it's C tier, man.
C tier? Below average? Or is it perfectly
let me tell you
average?
why I'm thinking C tier. It's because Massachusetts is there, I think, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's the
down there.
problem.
And it's like realistically, would you get an Alabama ever instead of a Massachusetts?
No,
Ever?
I wouldn't personally, no.
What do you think about C tier though? Do you agree? Or
I'm down
can
for
talk
C
about
tier.
it.
Yeah, it's I think it's a relatively average tier 8 battleship, but considering the other options we have for Black Friday, I think for Black Friday it's a below average Black Friday offering.
yeah, for sure.
All right, Alaska.
D.
Easy S tier, right? Surely everyone loves this ship, yeah? It's
D
the
tier,
best.
bro, D tier.
It was removed.
Well, it's S, bro. It's S. We know it's S. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I feel like I'm lying because I never play it because I don't have fun playing it. So I would probably put it in A just because I don't play it as much. But, I know a lot of people really love the ship and they would put it in S tier because it's a good ship.
It is.
But I don't know. What do you think?
It's a good ship, but I also don't really enjoy playing it. I'm very biased, though, against battle cruisers, as everyone knows. I don't find them consistent enough, and I find them too squishy to really play that tanky cruiser role compared to a battleship, which is much tankier. But Alaska's strong. I actually played it a little bit already, and man, the radar slaps people, man. Having an American radar with this level of tankiness is pretty good, but I also don't play it. So I think A for me. I think A for me.
Yeah, I put it A, bro. It's a good ship though. We have to say for most people it's gonna be a really good ship that they're gonna love. But for us, we just don't enjoy playing it as much as some others, right? So even though it's a really good ship.
Keep in mind, we're the privileged CCs. Also, we've played the game for so long that we have everything. So that's also something to keep in mind. But also, hey, it's a rare ship. This is your one opportunity in the year to get it. So if you're interested in ship collecting, then it's just an easy buy, I think. Unfortunate, it's not available for doubloons, as already stated. All right, Asashio, also a rare ship. Tier 8 Japanese DD. Deep water torps that only hit carriers and battleships. That's the gimmick. That is the whole gimmick.
Oh my gosh.
You absolutely crush battleships, but you're useless against everything else.
It depends on the matchmaking. Sometimes it's an S++, and sometimes it's like a C. But like realistically, it's an A, right? Because it's so matchmaking dependent, right?
It's so matchmaking dependent. I almost feel B because we put Alaska in A. I don't know if we can put. I don't know if we can put Asashio and Alaska in the same tier because it's a one trick. It is definitely a one trick. It's so good into those battleship matchmaker games though, and it's rare. And it's rare, guys. So if you're
rare,
again
so it's OP.
Looking for collecting ships, it's a very unique play style, then it's an easy get. Again, unfortunate that we can't get it for doubloons. I hope that changes, by the way.
Oh my god, Atago.
Atago, my first premium ship. Did you know that? It was the first premium I bought. Yeah.
It's one of the earliest premium ships in the game.
It is. And it's actually still not bad. You get a heal at tier 8.
I'm going to be biased. I'm going to say S tier on this one.
S tier. Okay. Okay. Why S tier?
If I'm wrong, but I actually enjoy playing this one. Unlike, for example, something like Alaska. Even though Alaska's really good. I think we have to keep saying it so we don't get roasted.
Well, we're going to get roasted really anyway. Good. I already gave the preamble in the intro of like, this is just our subjective take and everything like that. You can like what you want.
So I don't have to keep saying Alaska's really good, even though we put in A tier?
I don't know.
Okay. Nice. Atago is S tier because, for one, it's one of the earliest, I think, ships in the game that came out. And yet, even though after 9 years in the game, 8 years in the game, it's still probably one of the most consistent tier 8 cruisers that you can play in a variety of game modes. It has a heal. It has really good deck armor. Yep. It has quite good accurate guns, right, that are usable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got good torps and not bad torp angles, right? Like Mogami, it actually has usable torp angles.
That's huge for it. If you've ever played the Japanese cruisers, the old line, not the new line, their torp angles are atrocious. They're almost unusable. So Atago's very nice. And again, heal, deck armor that allows you to not just get overmatched by battleships all the time. It's nice. It's nice.
What do you think about S tier, though? Do you think it's S tier rating?
I don't personally have it at S tier. I would put it at A or B for me personally.
Well, then put it A, I guess, right? We go
Split the difference. Split the difference. I like that. Onwards, Atlanta. And I gotta say, guys, for me, this is one of the funnest ships in the game. I don't know if it's that good necessarily. The arcs are so floaty. But for me, this is one of the few ships that if I was to start all over again, brand new account, this would be a buy for me, just because I have so much fun in it.
Same. You know what makes it really crazy? Putting IFHE on it. Because you pen battleships.
Yeah, you actually pen battleships at your tier. That's right.
Yeah, for a super light cruiser, that's incredible to have, you know. So, and it has radar, right?
Tier 7 radar. Not very many ships get that. What is it? Atlanta? Indianapolis,
yeah.
Belfast, yep. Atlanta's great, guys. It's hard to play. If you're not used to light cruisers, you will just explode. The arcs are hard to use, but very fun. Very, very fun.
It's great in rank, too.
Azuma, next, also brand new for this year. Tier 9 heavy cruiser. Battle cruiser even, probably. And I'm not a huge fan of this one. I played it recently. It farms reasonably well. But it's a resource ship, guys. It's resource based. So I think you just wait and farm up the coal. I believe it's coal. And
yeah, it's coal.
Okay, it is. So for me, it's a resource one. So I would put it in C tier for me personally. But what do you think?
Same. It's just one of those ships I don't really enjoy playing that much. Even though it can be pretty good at damage farming. It's available for free though. And Yoshino also exists, which is pretty much the same thing, just better, right?
Yeah.
And it's also available for free. Azuma for tier 9 is alright. The armor is actually quite bad, surprisingly.
It's very bad.
For a
very
super
bad.
heavy cruiser.
You get overmatched by 406s everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's unique. It's got that heal. The Massachusetts 40-second heal. It does have that at least going for it. And the large guns.
It does. But I think C tier is a fair assessment for it. Even though it farms quite well, I think it's a fair assessment.
Yeah. And again, I would just wait with resources a lot of the time rather than spending money, if you can. All right, Black. Here it is. Radar, smoke, DD. Busted, right? Overpowered. We actually played this one recently.
We did. To a double division, and we got roasted in the game chat, remember?
We did get really roasted in game chat.
People got really mad that we were playing two of them.
It hard counters DDs. It is so good against destroyers, but it's kind of not great against everything else. The torps are just so slow. They do hit hard, and then the guns are Fletcher guns, which are good for 2015-16, but we've seen some gunboat DDs that are a little more powerful than this recently.
I would say, well, we have to remember it's also available in ranked, right? So
oh, yes.
You can kind of play it in ranked.
It is disgustingly powerful in ranked. That's a good point.
Maybe with that combination, it would be an A tier ship.
Yeah, if you're looking for a tier 9 ranked monster, Black is a solid option. But
the reason not for S is because, like, well, it's still relatively a bit boring for most to play. It's slow, right?
Yeah.
There's alternatives that are available for free. Maybe they don't do the exact same play style, for example, Chung Mu, but you
It's
can run
close.
radar on it.
Better
Or
torps
there's
by a
another one
lot.
now, Pan-European Destroyer, right?
Yeah, that whole line, smoke radar.
Lamdos. I don't know what it's called. Lamdos or something. Katsonis. That one has a similar kind of play style, except it has, I believe, better guns. So
Yeah. I think I would
and it's also
probably
free.
bring it down to B tier just because it's resource based as well.
Okay.
Just for Black Friday tier lists. But in ranked, it's S tier. It's so good in tier 9 ranked. In randoms, it's kind of just A tier. You kill the destroyers and then you're just kind of chilling the rest of the game. So what do you think? A or B?
I would say A. You know, we gave Alaska A, and it, well, I thought Alaska's not available though, but I think it's an A tier ship. I think.
All right, we do A tier. We can also order them in order in the A tier as well. So
should
we
do
can,
that after though. I think.
yeah, we can do that at the end. That's a good point. All right, Brandenburg, German brawling battleship. Let's go. We love to farm these in randoms, guys, don't we?
Yeah.
Free damage.
Really exciting stuff. The Brandenburg.
This one's 305 mil guns, right? So you don't get the 380s like Bismarck, but you get 12 of them. And it's got slightly better secondaries, actually. You got a few more secondaries. No hydro. Yep. Lower HP pool as well.
I'm going to clap on a tier, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong. I'm going to say D tier.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, German BB mains. This ain't it. All right, this ain't it. It can do well, but it's pretty bad.
There's a ship available for free called Bismarck, which I think is better. But you have to keep in mind you don't have torps, but you do get hydro, which honestly is more useful when you're pushing in, to be honest.
Very useful. Yeah, hydro is so nice for being able to push up. If we're looking at Black Friday tier 8 brawling battleships, well, you know, there's one coming up later that is going to be a little better option.
There's two that are better, right?
True.
I think Tirpitz is also better than Brandenburg.
I much prefer Tirpitz over Brandenburg as well.
Maybe it's the overmatch. I'm not sure, but
are the gun angles bad? Actually, let me check that real quick. Yes. 41 degrees forward and 42 degrees backwards. Yikes. So you're basically GK, except you don't even get the kiting angles. That's rough. Okay. Yeah. Onwards to Brisbane. Tier 10, new Black Friday ship. It's also a resource ship, but 12-kilometer radar Minotaur with HE. No smoke, though. Where do we think?
I think this ship is pretty fun to play. Not just it's good. I think it's pretty fun to play in general. And the radar can be pretty useful. It has really good torps, right?
Very good torps. 13.5-kilometer range?
Yeah.
A lot of damage.
And you get like 10 torps, I think. If not 12 per side. I think 10 per side, though. I think it's an A-tier ship because, well, it's also available. Is it? I believe it's available for free, right? For coal?
Yeah, it's a coal ship now. And it does have 10 per side, 10 torps per side.
Yeah. But it is still a pretty good ship. So we have to give it, I think, A tier in general, right?
I think so, too. This is a really strong tier 10 for team play. It doesn't quite farm as well as you would think, being HE Minotaur. The DPM does go down quite a bit from that, like reload-wise. But the torps are so nice on an off flank where the enemy's pushing into you. It is very, very difficult to push a Brisbane who knows what it's doing.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice for A tier. And we also have to, I think, well, I'm sure you mentioned this, but some of these ships, for example, if players aren't that skilled at the game, I think they're going to have a really hard time playing certain ships and an easier time playing others, right? So Brisbane's one of those where if you're not that good at the game, you might have a hard time playing it, right?
That's a good point. I did not mention that yet, but that is very true for Minotaur Hull.
Yeah.
All right, on to our first carrier. Where should we put it, guys? What do you think?
Well, Chkalov has 3 strike options. We've got torpedoes, skip bombers, and dive bombers with a circular drop.
Yeah, that sounds pretty strong.
It is pretty good. That's all I know about it. I would put it personally Correct me if I'm wrong. I would put it in the CV tier personally.
Yeah, I think I might also just put it in the CV tier. It is a CV after all.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we have to let viewers know that CV tier doesn't mean like E tier, it's really bad. It legit is a tier for CVs because we can't really rate them because we're not really CV players, right?
Yeah. You guys should go check out other content creators who are better at carriers, know the play style to get their opinion. We will not be able to give a very good opinion as we're not good at the class. We don't play the class. We're not interested in the class. In fact, we'd be happy if the class didn't exist. I know. Shocker, right? But yeah, that's a general feeling. Cossack is the next option, and this thing is kind of spicy. I played it the other day, and I forgot how disgusting the concealment and the alpha damage on the guns are. It slaps enemy DDs.
It's really good. This thing, when it came out, was incredible. You know, I thought it was super fun. The arcs are a bit bad, but it gets, I think, 8 guns. I believe it's not 7, 8 guns, I think.
Yeah, 8 guns.
So you can farm pretty well. You can get a lot of fires in this ship. And what's nice is you have British acceleration, and you also have speed boost and hydro. So it's very easy to dodge other destroyers, torpedoes. It has short burst British smoke, right?
Yeah, and you get a lot of them.
Yeah, so compared to the Tech Tree Lightning, right? You get an extra gun turret, and you lose 1 torpedo rack. But I don't know, maybe you have better reload than the Lightning as well on this one. This one's, for me personally, it's an S tier ship for me.
Yeah. This for tier really 8 is incredible. As a DD, this is absolutely incredible. If you're interested in gunboat DDs. If you're more of a torp boat player, this is not a torp boat.
What's the detection on this one? It's really good, like 5.5 or something, right?
Yeah, I believe you get down to 5.5.
To be honest, I kind of forgot Cossack was in the game. Is it still available for sale normally?
Yeah, you can get it for regular doubloons. But
no way.
Considering it's Black Friday, you get that 30% discount.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome destroyer, to be honest. One must keep in mind, if you're not that good at the game, again, the gun arcs might be a bit hard to use. But it's quite forgiving overall. Like we said, the maneuverability is really good, and the concealment's extremely good. So it's definitely usable.
Yeah, you have torp boat concealment, basically. I mean, Kagero's at what, 5.4? And you get 5.5? That's unheard of to have this level of gun power and that concealment.
I don't know. What do you think? S tier?
I would put it S tier. I don't know if it's quite good enough that I would say I would buy it instantly if I was creating a new account, but it's close.
Yeah. I think you need to kind of know how to use guns as a destroyer player to play it, though, for sure.
Yeah. And it must be mentioned that the rear gun doesn't have the best angle, so you do have to expose some broadside to shoot all of your guns. All right, on to Graf Zeppelin, which is also a carrier. And I think we've already said our piece on these, so I'm going to put it down here.
That's awesome. You know what has AP dive bomber speaker? You know that? Circle drop as well.
Circle drop? We've seen some fun things with circle drops recently, haven't we?
Yeah, and it also has torps and rockets.
Secondaries as well? Secondary monster?
Used to have hydro. And, fun fact, this is for the history nerds of WoWs. Specifically for WoWs, not actual history nerds. This ship actually had deep water CV torps. I think it's the only one that ever had deep water CV torps before, but it doesn't have any more, but it used to.
Wow, I didn't...
You remember that?
I did not remember that.
It did.
That's interesting.
It did. It's pretty wild.
All right, on to the next one. Iwami. Tier 9 Japanese battleship with secondaries actually being its gimmick. Secondary battleship. You get Harugumo turrets, essentially, as your secondaries, which are accurate as well. That's kind of the buff here over something like a Shikishima with the same turrets. And they pen 30 millimeters of armor. So you slap IFHE on it, and suddenly you're penning battleships with very high DPM secondaries. And the gun angles are pretty good too. I think it has 20 kilometer torps. I don't remember. But it's a fun ship, especially in ranked.
Well, I must be honest. I think I gave this ship a hard time when it came out. You know, it's one of my most reviewed viewed videos on my channel, even though I was a bit harsh on it because I thought Ruprecht existed.
Yeah.
And I would rather play Ruprecht personally.
Yeah.
But it does, as you describe it right now, it does have quite a lot also going for it. So maybe
The problem is
tier,
being covered in 32 millimeters of armor, pretty much. So then you run into other secondary battleships at the tier, and they're going to shatter some of your HE shells from your secondaries, and you're going to shatter none of theirs. So you get out traded pretty quickly.
Based on the fact that Ruprecht exists for me, and now Los Andes.
Yeah, we can't forget about those.
Yeah, I would personally put it C tier, just because it's trying to be a secondary battleship at a tier where I don't think it has the maximum secondary range the others do, right?
No, it doesn't.
I don't think so. So it's a bit harder, I think, to get functional, especially against those ships. I mean, against the Los Andes, I think it's almost impossible, actually.
You would die very quickly against the Los Andes.
Yeah.
Is this one also a resource ship as well?
I believe so. Yeah.
Coal, right? I don't remember actually.
Probably coal.
Probably coal. So for me, I think this is either... I would probably put it B tier for power level. It's fun to play at times, certainly, if you get the right matches without the Los Andes or Ruprecht. Ranked modes for sure. But since it's free, and yeah, it is for coal, then C tier sound okay?
Yeah, I think C tier is fair, for the ship.
All right, sounds good. Onwards to Jean Bart. It's rare. It's been removed from the game. You're only able to get it once a year. And unfortunately, again, we'll say it again, that it's not for doubloons right now. I hope Wargaming changes this. This is essentially a faster reloading Richelieu with a reload boost and an engine boost.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been trying to play this every day. I think you played with me last time with it, remember?
I've been trying to play it a lot too over the last couple of weeks, yeah.
I think when it came out, I think it was probably one of the best, more fun ships. But
yes.
I don't know. I've been having like a bit of a hard time playing it. Maybe I'm coping though. I don't know what you think.
No, I've been a bit of a notorious Jean Bart hater over the years. Maybe overly too hard on this ship. I think Bourgogne is just so much better than this ship. Sure, it's at tier 10, but it gives you a much better version of this playstyle because it also has a much faster base speed. I think the engine boost is more powerful too, more maneuverable ship. So you can be that flanking role much better. And Jean Bart was fairly decent as a bow tanker back in the day, but there's quite a bit of 32 mil pen cruisers with good DPM and accuracy at range, as well as, well, didn't we run into a double Yamato Musashi or double Musashi Yamato on our flank when we dived in it the other day? Which
I got 25k.
We were not having the best time, let's just say. That's a bit of a specific matchmaker, but I find the guns to be a little bit inconsistent, inaccurate. It tends to default to spamming HE. You only have 380s that don't have much overmatch at high tier these days. I would probably put it B tier for playstyle, maybe C tier for playstyle. But considering it's a rare ship, a lot of people are probably going to want to get it at A or S tier even. But playstyle wise, for me, I'm going to put it B. It's fine.
B is fair, bro. I think B is fair. It's a good ship, where it's not like we're saying it's a bad ship. Against some of these new ships, though, I mean, it's good because it has reload booster, but
reload booster is really fun, and
can have a hard time sometimes.
It's just a little too inconsistent at times. I'm also someone who plays battleships and complains about dispersion almost constantly, so maybe my expectations are a bit high.
Yeah, I think B is fair though. Even though it's a pretty good ship, it's not like a Brisbane or something, right? Brisbane has so much going for it,
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, on to Kaga. Also a carrier. Kearsarge. Interesting.
Is that a carrier?
Is this a carrier?
I never played this one, so you have to give a full review on this one because I have no idea.
You haven't played it? Okay, you basically get 12 North Carolina guns at tier 9 with the accuracy upgrade now. Keep in mind. So North Carolina does not get the 6th slot where American battleships finally get their accuracy upgrade. So 12 gun NC is kind of spicy. It also has rocket planes, allowing you to go spot for yourself, scout for yourself. They are tiny Tims, and they do pretty good damage as well. They mostly go after battleships and cruisers, though. Good pen. It's hard to hit DDs with them because the lead time is so long, but you can still spot the DD with the planes, launch an attack into the water. It doesn't matter if it misses. The planes will be spotting the DD the whole time, and then you get to use 12 NC guns to slap whoever you're spotting. It's very powerful, but it's also large and takes quite a bit of damage. So you do have to play a little further back with this one. I think it's kind of overpowered just because carriers and spotting is kind of overpowered. But I don't really enjoy playing it too much for me. I'll probably would put it in B tier for playstyle. But the problem is, again, you can get this thing for free if you have the coal. So I would put it down in C tier personally.
I mean, yeah. You know, actually, yeah, put it D tier so no one buys it, all right?
True.
No,
Actually, I don't want to fight a Kearsarge personally. I don't want to see them in game, so I will put it in D tier. I like that idea.
Careful, we're gonna get roasted. I think you should put it C tier.
No, we can farm some engagement. We can do that. Get the comments riled up a little bit. I think that's a good idea.
It's good. Then they take a picture of the end screenshot. They're like, "PQ put Kearsarge as D tier, dude."
Yeah, out of touch. Doesn't know what he's talking about.
Guy has no idea.
Hey, but it'll get people to click the video, right?
Yes. Lazo,
what do you think?
Soviet tier 7 cruiser. Now, this is a Chapayev at tier 7, funnily enough, with spotter plane gimmick instead of radar. Do you know the gimmick?
Is it fast cooldown?
Super fast cooldown on the spotter plane. So you basically have spotter plane up the entire time. You can run eye in the sky to get 2 extra as well, which is really nice. Honestly, the ship's pretty good for damage farming, but it is super squishy. It reminds me of a ship like Shores, if you know that.
Yeah, they take a lot of damage. Russian cruisers at this tier. Long citadel, the entire length of the ship, very little armor. You kind of explode.
For me, it feels like it's an extra ship that they put in the boxes to me. Yeah. It's like kind of like whatever for most. And it's also available for coal, I believe, and it's very cheap. So I'll put it D tier based on, okay, it's okay, but like there's other ships you can get that are just better.
Yeah. More unique, more fun to play than just farming at the back with HE, in my opinion. And it's a coal ship, a resource-based ship. I think we've been pretty consistent in if you have resources available for it, then we knock it down a tier 2.
Yeah.
Okay, Loyang. Busted, overpowered, hydro, DD.
This one used to be crazy when it came out, right?
Back in the day, I don't know if anybody remembers, Supremacy League, everybody ran this thing. This is pre-Kings of the Sea, pre-clan battles, just community-run competitive events. You ran a Loyang, and it was incredibly powerful. That was a while ago, though, let's be honest.
This is a hard one to place.
Keep in mind, we only get 4 gun turrets here. This is not a full Benson or something like that with the 5 guns. It's only 4, so you lack DPM.
It's a hard one because it's like it's not good. Like it's not John Bar level, right? Realistically, it's kind of Alabama level, I would say. I think.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't play it much these days because I think there's much better options. Funnily enough, if you play it and you run into a black, you can try and go for that smoke hydro, but he's just got a 7.5 kilometer radar. It's not going to end well for you.
I think it's fair for C tier.
It's still a unique play style. It's different. 5.5 kilometer hydro is nice, and I think that's C tier for me as well. All right, on to Mainz. This thing's kind of spicy. I'm not gonna lie. The DPM on this one is crazy for a tier 8, especially the AP DPM. It's got HE that will pen 32 as well because it's a German cruiser. It's got pretty rough armor and maneuverability though, so you can die rather quickly, but you're also going to kill things quickly as well. It's a fun cruiser to play, man. It really is. For me, honestly, I would probably put it in A tier-ish. I think that makes sense to me.
I would say A because most players, I think, would find it a bit harder to play than something like Prince Eugen or Hipper because they have better armor. It is a really good ship. We have probably extremely really good stats in it. I think my average in that one is like 150k.
Yeah, it farms like almost no other at its tier. Maybe Bayard is the only comparable at its tier to farm damage.
like definitely acknowledging it's a very good ship. I don't think we can put it S because, well, utility wise, it doesn't really offer like putting it over Brisbane is a bit unfair, I think.
Yeah.
Because it also doesn't offer like it offers a lot of damage farm potential, but team play potential in terms of like actually doing stuff. Like we have Brisbane there, we have USS Black, we have Alaska. I feel like it's a fair tier because it reduces the utility it offers, but it also increases the damage output compared to some of those other ships, especially like Atago. I think it's fine in that position. It also has pretty bad concealment compared to Atago.
Yeah, it does.
So I feel like they're kind of fair and balanced at the same tier there.
Yeah, and you can get locked out of a lot of games where you get up tiered a bit. There's some plane spotting. Atago at least has better concealment and the heal to come back in those games and still continue to farm, where Mainz, you can take a few hits early on and your game is almost over at that point. It's really difficult. All right, finally on to my baby at this point. Massachusetts is a ship I've long said is my favorite in this game. Tennessee has given it a run for its money though recently. It's Tennessee's great, but for me, I mean this one for sure is just I would instantly get this ship if I was starting a new account right now. It's probably still my favorite ship in the game. I played a couple games in it the other day and I had such a good time in it. Fast cooldown heal, accurate secondaries, main guns that hit hard but are a little bit inaccurate at range, and it's got the maneuverability. It's got the upgraded torp protection, like kind of like Alabama. This ship is awesome to play. It's really, really fun, and it's rare. So this is your real only option to get it too.
Yeah, I agree with your assessment. I think S tier is really fair for it. It's pretty good overall. It's really fun. I'm surprised there's Alabama available actually, because and Alabama just came out for Black Friday. I believe just Massachusetts is like way more fun. Yeah. And you can perform way better in it in general.
Yeah. More unique too. Like setting aside that it's not available, just like the play style is so much more unique, where Alabama is a bit of a side grade North Carolina.
Napoli.
Where do we go with the Napoli? Resource ship as well, but perhaps one of the strongest pushing, tanking secondary ships in the game, even though it's a cruiser.
Yeah. So realistically, for me, S tier, but it is available for free. So
it is.
So should people really spend money to get it? I mean, okay, it is really good, and I think it should be S tier in this situation, regardless, because it is a very good ship, very tanky. It's very easy to play, right, for most people.
Yep.
And it can do pretty well, but it's also available for free. So I still think it should be S tier. It's kind of up to you. It also has really good concealment, really good armor.
Very good armor. It's got the smokes that cover you while you're going full speed.
Yep.
Secondaries are sap, and cruisers don't have many secondary skills to improve their accuracy like battleships do. But this ship just has the baked-in accuracy of those battleships with all those upgrades, which is why it does so much. I think Napoli's really fun. I actually don't play it all that often, though, to be honest with you. Probably, yeah, it's either S or A tier. For me, I think it would I would personally knock it to A just because it's resource based, and I would strongly recommend you guys save resources. Tier 10s are going to be very expensive here still, even though they're discounted. Sense, yeah. So I'm going to put it A tier. But if you want, we can also just leave it in S tier.
Like realistically, guys, normal Napoli is an S tier. But since this one is cash, I think you should just go for the free version. We'll put this one in A just to visually represent what we also think here, regardless, I think.
And we'll reorder these later once we have everything in their tier. All right.
Oh,
another carrier, another CV
S
slot.
Tier.
S.
Nice.
All right, we've done it. Scharnhorst. What do you think? Scharnhorst B.
Scharnhorst. This is old Scharnhorst, right? It's not 43.
This is old Scharnhorst. That is correct. We got the 43 for free during the Christmas update last year. And this patch, actually, Scharnhorst 43 is back for 85,000 coal. And it basically takes Scharnhorst, the most fun parts of it, and buffs it up, while giving you a longer main guns reload. You get 45-second torp reload. You get faster reloading, lower alpha damage secondaries. And the torps are just crazy fun to use. I forgot the speed boost. It's got a crazy powerful speed boost too. It's like 15%. So you can just full send it in. It is just more fun than regular Scharnhorst.
Isn't Scharnhorst 43 available for coal now?
Yeah. Yeah, we got it available for coal.
Realistically, normal Scharnhorst for cash should probably go down to C or D because of the new version that's available for free, right? But it's up to you realistically. I think it's still a good ship, Scharnhorst. It could be a C, but there's its counterpart that's available for free. So I think D is a bit fair, even though it's not bad, right?
It's not bad. I still really like Scharnhorst. When I play tier 7, it's West Virginia 44 or Scharnhorst, which were my go-to brawling ships. But they just released a more fun version for coal.
Yeah. Nice.
So I think that's why it has to be in D tier. It's not because it's bad. It's just because there's a free one that's better, basically.
Yeah. No, I think it's fair.
All right, Sims, what do you think? The original base XP monster. You'd run this in ranked, and for some reason it had better base XP efficiency, so you could save your star a lot back in the day.
Does the B version also have that?
I don't know if the B version has that, actually. Probably.
Did we double div in this? Do you remember playing it with me on Islands of Ice? Was that you? I think so.
Yes, we did. We did double div this ship.
What a horrible time. But this ship, I think it really depends on the matchmaking, I think.
Well, let's be clear. I remember that game. We ran into an enemy div that was all running radar and DDs that were meant to kill enemy destroyers. And they were in tier 9s. And we were just tier 7s. Yeah. So that was a little bit hard.
I would say it's like, I think it's a C, like Loyang.
Yeah, I can't see us putting it above something like a Loyang. Certainly, we would get torn up if we put it in the same tier as John Bart. It might even be a D tier ship. I don't know. Just because it's not super unique. I don't know.
Can be a bit fun. I think Mahan is better, I think.
Yeah, you get the extra gun turret.
Yeah, extra gun turret and better torps, I think. This is kind of just a better ship.
Yeah.
But it's Sims, though. It's USS Sims.
It's a classic. It really is a classic.
Oh, it's free and available for coal?
Oh, great. Thank you, chat.
Let me check, actually.
Yeah, we should probably double check. But I think this is fair.
Viewers.
I think it's fair because it's not a particularly unique play style. And
unfortunately, it's not available for coal.
It's not? Chat lied to us?
It's a lie, so it should go... I think it should say that where it is, though. Realistically.
Yeah. Even though chat lied, and that makes me want to put it up in S tier. I think maybe, possibly, it should probably stay D tier. We probably shouldn't be recommending this one these days. There's better options, we'll say.
I love this one, man.
Tirpitz! The original German battleship, Torps.
For me, this is a tier. Bismarck, of course, being S tier, personally. But I think it should go B. For me.
I think it's a unique ship. Having the Torps is super fun. No Hydro is probably just worse objectively than a Bismarck, right? You'd rather have the Hydro than the Torps. But the Torps are more fun. The monkey brain in me that just wants to push in with the battleship and secondaries loves the idea of torping people as well. So yeah, I think B tier is fine for this one. I would probably get it over Alabama. More unique, more fun. But
I would get it over. It's also like famous.
It is.
It's not actually as famous as Bismarck, but
still famous.
I think it's a cool ship. Yeah, it's still famous. It's cool. It's like a premium Bismarck, so you can farm some credits in it, and it can be pretty fun. So it's a good position for it, I think.
It's a solid
Some people
spot.
might disagree. Overall, I think it's still a pretty good ship for fun.
Yeah, but again, Massachusetts way up higher.
Yeah, of course.
All right, last of the normal ones. Yoshino. Here we go. It's Azuma, but better armor, longer range on the guns, better reload on the guns. Torps. Spotter plane is what does I don't know if Azuma gets spotter.
It does.
It does. Okay.
Oh, yeah, both of them do. It's for me, bro. I don't know what you think. It's a B tier because it's a very good, like really good damage farmer. Extremely good. It has, well, okay, the playstyle is very one-dimensional.
Very.
But I do think it should be a tier above Azuma because it is better than Azuma, realistically speaking.
Yeah. And at
Now,
its
it is
tier, it's
available
better
for
than
free.
Azuma too, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just better, I think, for sure. It is also available for free, but I do think it should be a tier above Azuma. I think that's fair.
That's true. All right.
And it's got 20 km torps compared to Azuma.
True.
I believe there's one ship missing, but let's just talk about it right now.
Wait, did I miss one? What did I miss?
Yeah, Pommern B. Do you have
Pommern? I missed Pommern. Oh no! I can't believe I missed Pommern. German tier 9 secondary battleship. Guess what? Hydro and torps. So what we were talking about with Tirpitz, you don't have to choose.
Oh wow, it's OP. But you lose spotter plane.
Well, that's a very valuable upgrade for our German battleships. We know snipers, all of them. So,
yeah. To be honest, I would say B tier again, but it's available for free, man.
It is.
Now, it's really good in ranked, but we also have to remember that Los Andes and Prince Ruprecht also exist.
Yeah, there's a few more modern versions of this. I like C tier for this one as well. I think it's much better than a Brandenburg at its tier, but I don't see it quite at the level of the B tier type of thing. So yeah, for me, I think C tier is fine for it. Maybe it's close to Tirpitz at its like tier for tier, but because again you can get it for free, I'll probably drop it down one.
Yeah, and there is one more B ship, I think.
No, I missed another one. Dunkerque B. This is an interesting ship at tier 6. I find it to be incredibly inconsistent, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I got a 7-kill game last time in it, so it must be really good.
Whoa, okay, it's S tier. It's busted.
I would say it's a C tier, maybe even a D tier because it's kind of random. But since it's available in the Battle Pass, 2.5k dubs, that's quite cheap overall.
The cost of some of these, like a tier 7 is... Actually, the tier 7 is quite a bit more. Wait, Sims is...
3 times the amount.
Wait, are we wrong about Sims? I just realized. Look at its price.
Sims is free, guys. Sims is free.
That's a pretty cheap... Okay, maybe... Okay, we'll talk about Sims after, but let's... Dunkirk, what do you think?
Dunkirk's okay, but remember, there's ships that overmatch it at its tier.
Yeah.
Motsu, specifically.
There's a lot of 380 battleships. Queen Elizabeth, Warspite, Bayern... I'm sure there's others that I'm forgetting now. There's quite a few now these days.
I think it's good. What does it have going for it, for example? High top speed, right?
I think so. I haven't played this ship that much. I just remember it, taking a lot of overmatch from battleships and the guns being a little bit inconsistent. They're good shell velocity though, right?
Yeah. Shell velocity is very fast, and it's quite a fast ship in general. That's kind of it. That's all you have. So, and the guns are all on the front, so you don't have to,
It's like Richelieu, Jean Bart, similar.
Yeah.
Although probably not as good at its tier. But hey, for 2,500 doubloons, not bad. Although you probably have to get all the way through the battle pass, so keep that in mind if you don't have the time to play this update.
New ones,
yeah. This is what we talked about at the beginning, guys. But you have to get yourself through the random bundles, or the sequential bundles, I should say, over in the armory here if you want the Munchen. And it's about 10,000 doubloons to unlock it. There's not a lot here. I think it's 3 premium Black Friday crates is the main thing, and then blue and red boosters, a bit of coal. It doesn't seem like the best value to me. I guess there's this monochrome destruction effect.
10k dubs for a Munich? No way, man.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth that necessarily, but maybe if you really want some of that stuff in the middle, I suppose you could go for it. But yeah, for me, this is a pretty easy D tier. There's a lot of other good stuff to get over this for 10,000 doubloons. You can get any tier 8 for that price.
You could. And Atlanta exists. I think Munich is pretty good because of the raw pen. It gets good HE pen stock. There's decent DPM. It's an okay hull, it's not anything crazy. But Weimar also exists. Weimar's pretty good.
That's a pretty nuts ship. I hadn't played it for so long, and then I played it. It's like, whoa, this thing's pretty nice to play.
Yeah, it's like a little Mainz. I mean, Munich is pretty good, but Weimar is better. I think it's so. It's not like it's bad. We're not saying it's bad, right? Putting it D tier.
The
But
value's
there's
kind of
just-
bad, though.
Yeah, the value is pretty bad.
And then when we look at San Diego, Huron, Dupleix,
What's the price of San Diego?
11,300, 6,800, 5,800.
You get a coupon, right? You said, oh, but we have to open containers to get the coupon. Right?
Yeah, you got to open containers. I don't know which. I guess it's these. Oh, yeah. So you have to buy a bunch of the loot boxes to get any of these tokens. That's the only way to get those tokens. And that's where you get enough tokens to get the discount if you want it. And to be very clear, these are only for these 3 ships, San Diego, Huron, and Dupleix. It's not for any of the other Black Friday ships. So, not the biggest fan of these, to be honest with you. And I guess you can get the monochrome with that as well. 10 tokens. 10 tokens? How much is that requiring you to get? 10 crates. That's a lot.
You got to get 50 PQ to get 80% off. So that's 262 Canadian dollars.
Yeah, but Canadian dollar sucks. We'll go with doubloons so everybody knows.
But the balloon ones.
Wait, it has to be cash.
It has to be cash, bro.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I didn't even know. I was looking at this all morning trying to figure it out. Okay, you have to spend the cash. That's okay. Even worse, I think. Okay. So I think for me it's pretty easy that all of this stuff is just like, don't worry about any of this stuff here at the bottom because it's not good value. The other stuff is so much better.
Remember, guys, these ships, especially Huron and San Diego, they're very good ships, but they're only at D tier because of the value that they're available for. It's very important that that is taken into account in this situation. There is one point of feedback, which we need to address. I think Huron and Dupleix are not available for purchase at all, except for this event right now. So,
oh really? Oh, I did not realize. So it's only here.
Yes. So Huron is actually pretty good.
Yes.
In general.
Canadian destroyer mid tier, it's kind of busted. They like to have their Canadian bias.
Dupleix, you can kind of just play Algerie. I think you can achieve a pretty similar
Yeah, I didn't
playstyle.
really like this one that much, but Huron is good.
Yeah, Huron's pretty fun. And it's, even though some people say it's not as good as Haida, it actually offers a very different playstyle, and it also can be more fun sometimes because of the heal and better DPM and open water potential.
Open water.
It can be pretty fun.
I actually really like
personally
Huron.
like playing it in ranked myself.
Yeah, that's where they're the best, the Canadian DDs.
Yeah.
So either B or A tier, for me personally, one of those two.
Yeah, one of those. So you can kind of like roll a dice and just put it in B, or it's fine, I guess.
Yeah,
it's a good ship.
I think I'll put it B tier because I don't like the way it's monetized.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. GG.
Okay. Last but certainly not least, Malta. What about Smolensk?
CV tier. No, oh wait. Now, Smolensk, when it came out, was crazy. You know, it was the one. There was nothing else in the game at that time.
Yeah.
You know, but it's gone through some nerfs. And of course, some of them being global changes, such as the IFHE change and some other changes. AFTE, for example. So it lost its reload and DPM, but it's still very good for damage farming. We must keep in mind, though, for not good players, it might be a hard one to play still, in general, right?
You can get dev struck. I proved that in a recent video.
It's good. It's still a good damage farmer. Not for all skill levels of players, though, so do keep that in mind when you're going to enter the auction. Some people just want to have it just to collect it, right?
Yep. It's a rare ship, but it is auction. I don't remember how much it went for last time. Do you?
No, I don't remember. It was a lot.
I think it's going to be a lot, though. So value-wise, it's probably pretty low down.
If we put it C tier, though, men are going to go crazy with the screenshots. I think you put it B tier.
The screenshots are already happening, Malta, no matter what we do, okay?
The B tier play, I think. I don't even play this one, to be honest, ever anymore. So I can't really say it's a B tier because I literally never play it.
I don't really enjoy playing it that much either.
Yeah.
It's much easier to play than Colbert, though. It's a little bit lower DPM, but I mean, the shell velocity and the smokes make it so much easier to play.
Yeah, maybe put it at B tier potentially.
Yeah, I think we just leave it at B tier. It's going to be way too expensive to get into this auction anyway. Are we missing anything?
You want to reorder?
Before we reorder,
no.
Are we missing anything? No. For those of you who are in chat right now, keep in mind this is a very subjective list, as all tier lists are. You're never going to be objective. This is about what do Malta and I enjoy and like, which ships do we want to see, which ships would we get again. That's the idea here. So you guys will definitely have some different choices, and that's a good thing. But this is our thoughts on it.
With tier lists in general, I think especially like watching them on a lot of channels, because a lot of different channels do them, and a lot of different channels will have a lot of different opinions, right?
Which is good.
Yes, of course. And that's the nice thing about it is you can look at many people's content and kind of see what different people think, and it also depends on the player's playstyle, right? But I think this list, I think me and PQ pretty much agree on the whole thing. I think overall, now this isn't just based, like he said, on the strength of the ship, but also the value of the ship, the fact that it has a counterpart also available for free, and also we're rating it on the fun level of the ship, right? So that's why maybe you're seeing some ships that would be above others, but based on strength alone, it doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So there's many factors that go into this.
It's really hard to be consistent and cover all aspects of the ships and put them in a appropriate tier list. We would have to make multiple, probably, if we wanted to make the objective power level at its tier, the objective value, the rare ones are worth more or less, or I don't know. So we've kind of been
pretty good overall, though.
It's just kind of what the vibe that we get from the ship, basically.
To be honest, if next year none of these ships get changed at all and we do another tier list again, we could see the same ships at different tiers depending on the day, you know. But today, and with our current experience, we've played these ships in the past few months, right? This is kind of where they're going to be aligned right now. And, you know, over time, you know, the game is ever changing. These could change. But right now, for this event, this is the picture we have, right?
Yep. I'm pretty happy with it. But I think we should probably start reordering some within the tier, just to kind of order them from left to right, being best in their tier versus worst in their tier.
I think S is fair already. I think that's...
For me, yes. That's how I would order S.
Okay.
A tier. What do you think?
Personally, people are going to get mad. But Alaska's going to go to the end. What? How? Maybe Mainz behind Alaska, but, you know, it's just not one of those ships I personally have fun playing. So even though it's pretty good, it has to go there.
I kind of agree, but I had one really good game in it recently. I might have to play it some more and give it another chance. I think we'll get roasted a little too hard if we do that.
Okay. And then we have Brisbane, I feel like should be very leftward for sure.
Brisbane's very good, yeah.
Atago, I think, is also fair. USS Black is very strong, but it's harder to play.
For me, Black is probably lowest in A tier just because it's so limited in what it does outside of its just kill destroyers. Yeah. And it's available for free. Atago or Napoli?
But the thing is with Napoli, it's available for free. Or are we not taking it into account?
No, we have been. We should take it into account because I'm always going to recommend you guys save resources. Always.
Napoli is available for free. Now, Brisbane is also available for free, some might say. But it's more fun than
more fun, stronger. Okay.
When played right, I think Brisbane's really fun. For sure.
Yeah. The torps are so fun too. And I mean, the utility of the radar, it's a good ship for sure. B tier. What's the order of this tier?
Well, this is a bit hard.
It is.
This one is a bit hard.
Smolensk. I would probably... I kind of want to leave Smolensk and Huron down just because the monetization of them.
Oh, okay, okay.
I kind of want to leave any of the monetization ones just to be like, yeah.
Well, then in that case, I mean, in terms of just fun level, I think Jump Bar is definitely on the left here.
Yeah. It is still a good ship, guys. We just have not had a good time in it trying to play it again.
I think then Asashio is fair as well, second place for sure. Yoshino is relatively boring to play.
Agreed. Tirpitz above that.
Even though
I'd probably really even put Tirpitz above Asashio.
Yeah, I guess. But remember, Yoshino is also available for free, so it has to be on the right.
True.
There you go.
I'm pretty happy with that. C tier. Where are we at here? Alabama, Azuma, Iwami, Loyang, Pommern, Dunkerque.
Well, okay. So I think Dunkerque on the right, based upon it's not that fun. It doesn't offer too much unique things and whatever.
It's just above D tier, yeah.
Alabama. Well, actually, wait. Alabama's not that bad, right?
No, I like NC a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a side grade NC basically. I'm happy with Alabama being kind of in the top 3 of C tier for sure. I think based on interesting.
Maybe Pommern's better than Loyang.
Yeah, Pommern's better than Loyang. I think for me, actually, I do reasonably like Iwami. I'm a little scared because I haven't played it since Los Andes release yet. But for me, Iwami's pretty high up C tier. And then I'm just a bit of a dumb battleship brawler guy, so I would probably put Pommern above Azuma as well.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's good.
What about Pommern or Alabama? Should we up it one more or nah?
I just never play Pommern, man.
Me neither.
I don't
honestly.
play Alabama either, so
it's close. I think that's fair enough. Loyang is unique, but it's kind of old at this point, so I'm happy with C tier.
Yes, D tier.
D tier. Only the best of the best can get to D tier.
I love how Kearsarge is here, even though shouldn't be here.
Kearsarge is busted, man. I just don't want to see it.
Yeah, just put it on the left. Yeah,
we'll put it on the left at least for you guys. All right. I don't know. I feel like maybe Sims should get a relook because I didn't realize how cheap. I mean, it's hard to say because you're still spending money, but it's relatively cheap compared to everything else. It might actually get up into C tier for me. Actually, I forgot about that.
That could go like right behind Loyang there.
Yeah, that's kind of where I see it, considering the price as well. What about Brandenburg, Lazo, or Scharnhorst?
Scharnhorst in front of Lazo, I think.
And Brandenburg
probably in front
too.
Of Brandenburg, yeah. I think that's okay, perfect.
I think Brandenburg's pretty rough to play, guys.
Yeah. And the CVs, you put Kaga first for sure.
Okay.
And then
I know
Chkalov.
nothing about carriers, so whatever Malta says is objectively correct in the CV ordering.
Let's just hope for the best. Let's hope the CV players don't mold out here. So Kaga, Chkalov, I think Graf Zeppelin, Saipan is fair. Let's keep it like that.
Okay, that's the order of carriers. You heard it first, guys. This is the objective list of carriers in Black Friday. All right.
There it is.
All right. Well, I'm pretty happy with this tier list. I'm not gonna lie. Thanks for joining me, Malta. This was a really good time.
Thanks for inviting me, man.
And everybody, make sure you go follow Malta on YouTube and Twitch. Streams a lot, uploads to YouTube sometimes, and is an excellent content creator for this game as well.
Thank you, PQ. Guys, you should sub to PQ as well. And follow and like. It helps him a lot.
Yes. Like the video, guys. Share it around. Create your own tier lists. Order it yourself. Again, this is subjective, so let others know which ones that you would prefer. And we can collect some data in the comments below for other people. That was fun. I'm glad we did this. I'm very glad we did this. All right, guys, so that is the video on the Black Friday ships, the tier list. I was not sure when this event was going to start. Sometimes it's partway through the update, but it came out instantly. So we didn't get a chance to really see a lot of the individual ships first, add a lot more context. But I hope you guys enjoyed a brief overview of each ship. We weren't the most consistent as I was editing through. We weren't the most consistent on rating ships based on their value or how well they play at their tier or how much fun they are. We were kind of all over the place, but that's what you get in tier list. It's very subjective. So I hope you guys enjoyed anyway. And again, let me know in the comments below which ones you think are the best ones to get. I really, really hope Wargaming responds to the feedback that they've received today. I guess yesterday, considering when I recorded this versus when it's going out. And hopefully by the time this video goes up, they've already made the changes and you can get these rare ships for doubloons, not just for the real money purchase. A little bit disappointed by that, a lot disappointed by that probably. And I guess some of the other ships, man, it's kind of odd how the discount works. You have to spend real money to get the Black Friday tokens. That's it. I'm very surprised. You could even hear it in the recording that I was not aware of that. I'm still a little bit annoyed by that as well, that this is only for buying the real money loot boxes. Seems unnecessary to me, but I don't know. That is my take. I've spent a lot of time kind of cutting out a lot on this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Very long video. Those of you that made it to the end, huge thank you. Again, massive shout out to Malta for coming on and discussing these ships with me. It was a ton of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Had a lot of good information in this one. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.